I work in the building.
What do you do?
I'm an architect.
It's the architect, man. I was reading up on boxing scene, and Kell Brook is talking that talk. This is what we want from him. You know, he's been dealing with mandatories. He's saying right after finishing up with his mandatory at the end of this month, he's looking at Danny Garcia, as a possible opponent. He also mentioned names like Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley, all which would be good fights. And the type of names we want to see him in the ring with. It's always good news when you see guys wanting to help get some clarity in the division. Especially the division is stacked. It's the welterweight division. Oh man, Kell Brook, he's been a little out of sight. He said he'd like to get back to the U.S., particularly for Danny Garcia, and it seems like a lot of guys are coming for Danny Garcia, out of all the guys who have names that could be fought right now in a title. But Danny Garcia, I guess you got to come prove yourself, Danny. You stepped up in another division, and guys are coming for you, man. One thing about Danny Garcia, even when he wins, he still looks vulnerable while winning. Not saying that every guy looks flawless, but, it seems like Danny Garcia either squeaks out or has tough fights, or you can get to him in certain ways, and he's there to get hit. So I could kind of see why guys, want to test him. Plus, like I said, he was a smaller guy coming up, and he has that green belt, so he has a target, and there's nothing wrong with that. He has to prove himself. But yeah, Kell Brook also mentioned, the Keith Thurman and Sean Porter fight, being postponed was a disappointment. So hopefully, we get Kell Brook I should say he's looking to fight one of those guys if he can get past, Danny Garcia or whoever, he fights after his fight at the end of this month. But that's good stuff right there. If we can get Keith Thurman and Sean Porter finally to fight, and then we can get like a Kell Brook or Danny Garcia, I mean, that's great. We're starting to starting to answer a lot of questions in the division, and this is good. The fact that he's talking about it is good. We haven't seen him fighting anybody that of any real notoriety. I mean, essentially, guys, we all know he's going to beat, and that's been disappointing. He has to deal with mandatories. That's a given. You got to take care of that, I guess. And he had a situation where, he got stabbed in the leg, and I guess, they would like to, bring him along a little slowly as well with that. So now it's time to, fight these guys that's in the top 10, fight these names, start unifying these titles, and see who's really the man at 147. I mean, let's get it going, man. But it's good to hear this. It's good to see that this guy's talking that talk, and I hope he just starts walking that walk, man. I'm out.